Good morning. Yesterday was a super exciting day because I got to climb a mountain and film and fly a drone and get all sorts of awesome footage, but today is an editing day, and while it's way less visually stimulating, I wanted to take a second to go through sort of what happens and all the little elements to give people an idea when they start to say, oh hey, you can edit this project for me real quick, just what goes into that and the way that I do my process to help people wrap their heads around all the things that are happening. Step one is backing up the footage. If we use two cameras, a drone and a GoPro, or any combination thereof, we've got 4 memory cards. Now, the first thing I do usually the night after a shoot, as soon as I get back to a computer, is I back up all the memory cards onto a hard drive. And then I back them up onto another hard drive that I keep in different places. That way, in case anything happens to the hard drives or if something burns down or gets stolen, whatever happens, hopefully we still have the footage, because a lot of times we can't redo the footage and it would suck to lose it. So we back up all the footage. Then, when it's time to actually edit, we create a project on another hard drive. We import all that footage into that project so that we can edit it and go through it, keep it all in the same place and see everything. And then we back up that whole project onto another hard drive and do the same thing where we're storing them independently in case one crashes or we have problems. Everything's backed up and saved, so all the time that we've spent, we're not having to redo all of that at any point. That's before we've even started editing. To go over some of the costs that goes into video editing and why it can be so expensive, every single one of those memory cards has to be fast enough to store HD footage. It has to be big enough so that we don't have to keep switching them every couple of minutes. And they have to be reliable enough so that hopefully they don't crash. And they don't erase themselves or get damaged in the normal usage of a memory card. So we've got the cost of cards. Then we've got to back those up onto separate hard drives that are all big and fast as well, so we can actually edit on them and we're not wasting time with drives crashing and losing footage all over the place. So we've got good memory cards being backed up onto good hard drives. And then we have to have a good computer do all this, because if we have a slow, crappy computer, it takes forever. And so even with this monster of a computer behind me, it still takes a while often. And so backing up all this onto multiple hard drives and having this all run through the same serial bus in a computer takes time. So after we've done all this, we are now ready to actually begin editing. Now today, I'm editing these 3 projects, but what I wanted to do is leave the camera on, running straight through, and let you watch what's actually happening in editing. And I'm going to speed it up so that it's not super boring for you to watch. But I just wanted to highlight what goes into the process, the decisions that are made, how meticulous certain things can be, and finding little things. And so when clients come to me and they say, oh, hey, can you just cut this little part out and do this? It'll take you just a second. It doesn't. It often takes a lot longer than that, and it's a very involved process that takes a lot of care, a lot of equipment and software, and a lot of expertise to do so efficiently. So this is the editing process. Enjoy. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be in frame here. But once we open this up, just to give you another indication of actually all that goes into this, while backing up the footage, we are on about 4 hours left of this one project backup. And again, these are good drives running through a good computer. There's just so much information. It's backing up gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of footage. So this takes a while. And when people say, oh, can you just do this project? It'll take a couple hours. It takes a lot more than that. It's just not always glamorous or exciting things. And so when people only want to pay for the exciting things, we miss out on being able to do the behind-the-scenes things that make everything run smoother, faster, and efficiently. So, still have about 40 minutes of backup for some client footage here, but I'm going to try to connect an inactive hard drive into one of my extra ports. I've got 4 USB ports, and all of them are used right now, as is the SD card slot. So, I'm going to find another hard drive. This is a hard drive named Eunice, and Eunice is holding 2 of my client projects right now at a very high rate of speed. So I'm going to connect Eunice in a second and open up one of these client projects. Synchronize most of the audio, and I've got all those things ready. And my primary goal here is going to be to go through the footage, and it's mostly interviews, and pick out the best lines that outline the narrative of what this company is trying to say about themselves. And then after I have the skeleton of what's being said, the script that goes behind everything, then I'm going to go back through all of the B-roll and find the best clips that illustrate the points that they're talking about, and hopefully we have enough of a variety where we can lay those things over the top, and then the video will come together where they'll be talking, and then there'll be visuals on top of it, explaining those examples a little bit and showing them hard at work. So it's time to get started. Everything's ready. These drives are still backing up, which is going to slow down all the performance here, but we'll see. Starting the timer now. After 41 minutes, I've now gone through all the interview clips, and the interview was a total of less than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour of interview. Took me about 40 minutes to go through, again after it was already synced, but to pull out just the usable takes, so not any of the outtakes or mistakes, usable takes. So the next step is actually picking out the best ones, putting them together in a sequence that best tells the client's narrative. Still in the middle of 2 hours of backup of these footage and client libraries. An hour in, I now have some pretty good clips. This needs to be kept to 40 seconds, and I have exactly 3 minutes of good clips right now. So, time to chop. Here's an exciting part. Because this clip is just too long and there's an aside, a parenthetical aside in it, and we need to keep this whole video under 40 seconds, I have to go in word by word and try to chop out this little parenthetical reference and make the clip shorter and smooth it over and then cover it with B-roll. So, more exciting nitty-gritty. One little note, this person, Christina, my good friend, misspoke as she was saying the word relationship in the middle of a great take. And I was able to sew it together. This is what it sounded like originally.
That relationship to be very special.
So we're trying to shave time and that little pause was too much, but by chopping it frame by frame, it now sounds like this.
That relationship to be very special for the clients so we can deliver them the best possible product.
So one of my favorite little cheats that I get to do is, instead of compressing versions and sending them, a few of my clients will Skype and I'm able to share my screen, and in real time, without having to like compress and upload a version, I'm able to show them something and see which clip they like, which soundbite they like. So in this case, I've got this narrative that I think will be a good backbone for this 40-second video, but I wanted to run it by them to make sure that I'm including the things they want to talk about and not the things they don't want to talk about. So hopefully we'll find out soon if that's possible. So just finished editing the first draft, the first take of this 40-second video, and we are at an hour and 30 minutes to get this done. Again, everything was already synced up audio-wise, imported and backed up before then, so that was already a few hours of work that isn't a part of this. So now I'm going to pause this and eat lunch.
Marketing strategy with business goals.
Back at it.
Really invest the
Lunch is
time
over.
to
Got a little
know
bit of
what the
feedback from the
organization is
client.
trying to accomplish as a business,
Tweaking.
and then match the marketing strategies to help augment those goals.
My computer's restarting, but finished the 40-second edit. I'm waiting for logos and any on-screen information that I need to put in, and then I can make the final clips, make sure it's exactly 40 seconds, and send it off for final approval. First approval, really. Done with the edits as I think I have it. I need to wait for the logo and any on-screen information that they want to put in this video, but as a reference, we are coming up just shy of 2 hours at this point, and there's still a little bit more to do for this 40-second video. I'm going to pause it now because I have to wait for these things from them, and I'm going to do other things in the meantime. Feedback just came from the client, and I need to add the logo and then their phone number and the logo to the end and put some music in the background. It's time to resume the timer. We're back. A quick other note, I put this on my website, but music is one of the hardest things, and this client's being really easy to work with about it, and I'm just going to use some music that I already had from another project we did with them. But when people take a long time to find music, or they listen to it and they're like, ah, that's close, but, and then we have to compress like 4 different rounds, all just trying different things, it's quite a headache. So when people provide us just a direct link to like, hey, use this song, it's way easier. So I think that is the end of the draft. It took 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 11 seconds, give or take. But that's what it took to edit a 40-second video from about an hour's worth of footage with a very, very cooperative client. Now it's time to edit another video.